Hello everybody, welcome to my video and into the everlasting silence that is behind all of it. What I realized what I want to share with you, one of the most profound things you'll hear today, at least, is that most of all that you tell outside of yourself is a lie, I think. It's a very, very radical thing to think. And I believe that a lot of people are not going to be able to handle this in the sense. But I can tell you that you are not your stories that you tell yourself, or the identification of the personality that you relate to yourself that has become the identification of who you are. I feel in a very, very profound mood this morning to realize that the lie you continue to tell and the lie that you build up to yourself that you are your personality or your name even, and the story of who you are and the labels that you have given yourself are all lies. I'm inviting you to just step back and look at that, what construct. The ego likes constructs to try to be able to understand something. None of this is a problem at all unless you see it. All of it's going to arise in your experience during your day. Ooh, I'm really in this mood this morning. Because I realize that there's no such thing. When you tell your truth, and what is your truth? The truth is that you are no thing. Now, everything that has built this personality, from your family to your environment, to your religions, to your occupations, there's an interesting, mysterious thing about who we are and what we are. And I really firmly believe that we become what everyone says we are. That is the personality, and the ego is developed from 2 years old, I think. This is a very scary thing for a lot of people. But past that, since I am not my personality, nor am I my ego, I can see right through that because I've been on this journey for a long time, and I just want to share it with you right now that there's a possibility to step back and look at all of that you have created, and you have co-created that with the external world, and you have listened to what people have told you you are, starting from your name, starting from your gender even, as you're born. Just because you're born with a penis, or just because you're born with a vagina, doesn't mean that you're a girl or boy. This is so profound. This is really, really profound, but I don't care to share that with you because I've just really figured it out. I've been labeled as a boy. I've been labeled as gay. I've been labeled as Maurice Dwayne Causey. I have been labeled by as an artist. I have been labeled as highly sensitive. I have been labeled, and I've experienced judgments from those labels, even with myself. But as I step back and I look and I observe and I share and observe and I share and I observe, I realize that that's the part of the mysterious thing that is the existence of who we are and what we really are. We're none of that story. I do know one thing, that I cannot get rid of that story, nor can I get rid of my personality, nor can I get rid of my ego. From the spiritual search that I have been on, I have tried to get rid of that ego, personality, at one point. And it caused me suffering because I deny a part of the whole thing that is here. And that whole thing at the end of the day is no thing. Nothing. No thing. You're not a thing. You're a vibration. And this is really, really, really difficult to get for a lot of people. But that's okay, because when you start to investigate who you are and you realize all of the suffering that you put yourself through, it is so interesting, because there's no need to suffer irrationally. Suffering is going to happen. Less suffering will happen when you're less attached to your ego or the feelings that rise and fall in you. Sadness is going to happen. Happiness is going to happen. Anger is going to happen. Irritations are going to happen. Annoyance is going to happen. Bliss is going to happen. All of these things happen and arise and fall and arise and fall. When you step back and you look at that, just look at it, you have a possibility that is infinite. The awareness of consciousness is infinite. I mean, you don't do anything. You just sit there and you realize, and then when you close your eyes, and that is permanent. That is always there, not the attachment. If you can just let go of the attachment of all of that is in the mental mind construct, and the concept of you, of who you are, who you think you are, and the story that you tell of who you are, when you realize that you are that, there's something that's ever present, and there's something that is ever present that is there. And that is really, really what you are. And it's no thing. It's no nothing. So if we just stop trying to fulfill that everlasting personality, ego construct, all those kind of things, and you engage with it. I say engage with it fully and have fun with it. Have fun with it. Have fun with the sadness. Have fun with the bliss. Have fun with the observation of all that you are. Enjoy the highs and lows. Enjoy the challenges. You know, life is not going to be about challenges. That's why you're here. And one day, when you got so tired and exhausted of the whole charade and the whole game of who you are and that personality, and you look at that and you like not judge it. I invite you to not judge anything about yourself. And that is very difficult, because the ego needs that charge of that. You know, what you give your attention to becomes more and more of that. What you focus on becomes more and more of that. And behind all of that construct, you are no thing. So you don't have to really do anything. A lot of people, this is totally against everything that we have learned in that sense. What we have learned is to think that there is something outside of us that is heavenly or hell. It's all the same thing. It's on the same stick. It all exists on the same stick. It's everything. There's no right or wrong. And you realize that everything is dualistic because that's what you've learned. We have an incredible, incredible instrument that is right here in our head. And it's so incredibly wonderful. And there's no reason to deny anything. There's no reason to deny anything, any part of the charade. The denying of the ego is just absolutely another circle. And then you become identified with the thoughts of that I deny the ego. The thoughts that rise and fall in your mind are such impermanent things. It's just, if you step back, and I invite you to step back and look at the tapestry of your life. It is all just here, your name, your occupation, your religion, your this, your that, and all that. It is really a possibility. I invite you, because I live it. When you continue to tell the lie of who you think you are, the suffering happens, and it's irrational, and there's no need for that suffering. The spectrum of emotions, I remind you again, the spectrum of emotions are going to rise and fall. Your voices in your head are going to rise and fall. You have a possibility to step back and attach to those voices or not. And I really firmly believe this. I have been on this search for a very long, well, the search has happened, yes, for sure, but the search is stopping. I am not the doer. I am no thing. I am not. You feel like you have to do something to get something. You don't. I don't think so. And this is really profound. And you can turn this off right now if you think I'm insane. I'm okay if you include me into the insanity of this conversation. I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. Because I tell my truth. And I have fun with this ego. I am no different from you. I'm not here to toot my horn and say I'm more superior. No, we're all the same. You're part of my story, I'm part of your story, especially if you're watching right now, or however you think about me. But what you project onto me is not my story because you don't know what my story is. It makes very clear sense. It's very, very simple, but yet profound, because then we have to take responsibility when we step back and we look at all the constructs, and we have to allow ourselves to feel all of these things. I say, allow, and everything falls into place. It just falls into place, and you stop trying. You stop trying to be. You just are. And things change. The impermanence of all those constructs change. And I will just continue to shine my light in this way, and to express in my sharings and show my emotions. This morning I was crying because I felt as though I just knew I was at one with all of it. And there's only one thing, and it's just there's a possibility to glimpse and to feel it and be one with that and be okay with that. There's less suffering. I share that with you today in hopes that you don't suffer so much when you compare yourself to something else outside of you. You are no thing. You are no thing. You're love. The one truth. That's it. That's it, and it's so beautiful and mysterious, yet when you find it, and again, behind all that thought, there's nothing. 0, 0, 0, 0. I love you so much. Thank you for watching, and have a beautiful day. Enjoy the silence.